Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for this opportunity to also give my opinion on this bill. You know, the issue of digitization is all over now, and I think almost all sectors of the economy are getting digitized. So it's a good idea for us to digitize our health sector. And of course, as we say, all dreams are valid. But it's important, Mr. Speaker, as we go through this, to understand maybe the positives and some of the challenges that we may actually end up finding in this kind of setup. Mr. Speaker, the advantages are obvious and have been talked about by very many of the members. First and foremost, I believe that treatment will become cheaper because there is sharing of resources. When one doctor can be able, or one technician can be able to serve many hospitals at the same time, and then of course that means even the equipment can be shared, so that makes it easier and cheaper. Mr. Speaker, also it will be faster because you can get instant feedback. Mr. Speaker, also the history of every medical patient becomes easily accessible, and therefore that means that in case there is any settlement or need to settle a medical dispute, then all the information is obviously readily available. And Mr. Speaker, I would also imagine that in the...
What's happened to...
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, that is what I was going to add. The issue of the safety of security, how technology actually works. If it were possible in the future, and I would propose that they find a way maybe even to connect this system with the one for the registrar of persons, so that those that lose their lives in hospitals can also be immediately recorded so that we can be able to issue their certificates. Mr. Speaker, of course, the agency has its work cut out for them, because for them to ensure that digital data of patients is protected, it is a very, very tall order. Mr. Speaker, we have to look at it this way, that a lot of the systems that we have already in this country, they are sometimes prone to failure. I mean, look at almost all our state corporations, NHIF, MSSF, Pay As You Earn. The minute many people log in to try and do their end of month, returns, suddenly those systems are not working. So you can imagine the number of patients. If many patients are logging into the system, it has to be very, very well done. So, Mr. Speaker, we have to be very careful about the kind of technology and the kind of system that we put up, because that system may also be a problem. Mr. Speaker, careful that we do not have any possibility of people hacking into the health system, because if that were to happen, Mr. Speaker, they could corrupt data and of course put our people's lives in jeopardy. So it's really, really something that we need to look at. Mr. Speaker, also, you know, for us to have this health system work and for the digital system to work, we also have to have ICT, we also have to have Wi-Fi. Mr. Speaker, we are talking about our dispensaries being able to send data to hospitals in the city, to hospitals that are level 4, level 5. Mr. Speaker, where is this digital connection? We were promised digital connection in our markets, in our villages. Mr. Speaker, it is still not there. So as we are coming up and we are proposing to pass this, Mr. Speaker, this is likely going to end up being hot air. We talk about it, we pass it, and we are unable to implement it because we do not have the infrastructure, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, I am not opposing. I am just posing a challenge.
Let's hear a point of order from the Deputy Speaker.
It's a point of information to Honorable Mbui. Honorable Mbui is being a pessimist, and if he believes that technology does not work, you should stop carrying your phone and not use a telephone. In fact, you're speaking on a microphone here in this house, courtesy of technology. You're speaking in this house, recorded by Hansard, courtesy of technology. Are you telling us that we must just stay frozen in time and remain in the Stone Age times just because you fear technology and that you're a pessimist, yet is a beneficiary of technology? Thank you, Honorable Speaker. In fact, the voting that went on in this country that you are elected on was courtesy of technology. So you should give up your seat first if you don't believe in technology. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, I would have liked to ignore that because I talked about the promises for Wi-Fi in our markets, in our villages, which is still not there. And Mr. Speaker, that is a fact. So I'm just saying that we are likely to pass this bill, and then the dispensaries in Kaviani cannot be able to send this information. Mr. Speaker, can I have some information, please, from my whip of the minority?
You can't. Order. He has not sought to inform anybody, and you have no capacity to solicit information while you are on the chair, on the floor, sorry.
Mr. Speaker, have you heard him now?
Yes. I have not heard anything. Go on, Robert Mbui.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. So
And
basically, I'm not opposing the bill. I'm just posing the challenges that we are likely to face in the implementation. Otherwise, I said all dreams are valid. We need to work towards the possibility of making this work. But finally, Mr. Speaker, again, even after the technology.
Do you want to be informed by Junet?
Yes, I want to be informed by my whip.
Mr. Speaker, thank you for your indulgence. Mr. Speaker, I wanted to inform my deputy minority whip that he is not opposing the bill, but what I wanted to inform him is that technology can fail you at the hour of need. When you need it most, imagine, Mr. Speaker, technology that fails you at the hour of need, what will you do about it? That's what he's trying to point out, Madam Deputy Speaker. He's not opposed to digitalization at all. He's just telling you that technology can fail. So be prepared that, you know, the other day we were told 25,000 markets will be digitalized. Some worked, some did not work. When people boarded a matatu, it did not work. When they came down, it was working. So that's what he's trying to inform you. Thank you very much.
Yes.
So Mr. Speaker, as I finish.
Yes, Chepkonga, what is the point of order?
I don't want his information.
He's not informing, he's on a point of order.
Mr. Speaker, thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise pursuant to Standing Order number 91 on factual statements. Mr. Speaker, the minority whip purported to want to inform my very good friend, the Honorable Mbui, and then ended up informing the Deputy Speaker, who was on a point of order. Mr. Speaker, on a serious point of order, my very good friend, the Honorable Mbui, he knows, and which he should have brought that information to this House, that when the permanent principal secretary for ICT appeared before a committee, in fact, he even gave one of his markets to be connected, Mr. Speaker. So I don't know which is this failure of technology when he knows I liberalized telecommunication in 1999. He walks around with a mobile which has never failed, Mr. Speaker. He gets me when he wants me, Mr. Speaker. So I don't know which is this technology where he gets, which is going to fail. The statement, Mr. Speaker, in itself is inaccurate.
Okay, wind up, Robert.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I would have loved to ignore my chair, but Mr. Speaker, as I said before, I am not opposing. I am just posing the challenges we are likely to face, because even as he says, there is a market in my constituency that's being connected, the dispensaries are not, and here we are dealing with issues of dispensaries. So, Mr. Speaker, I finally want to just say that we also have to be very careful that as we pass very good legislation like this one, we also have to have the right people managing the technology also that will be in our hospitals. I know the people that serve in some of the dispensaries in my constituency, and I really wonder, when we have this technology, who is going to manage them? So it also means that we are likely to end up increasing the personnel that are in those dispensaries, and I'm wondering who's going to be carrying that burden. Is it the counties? Is it the national government? Yet even some of our dispensaries are not functional because they don't have enough staff. So with those remarks and concerns, I do support the dream. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable members, I'll now, pursuant to this point of order raised by the Honorable Chepkonga, I'll now put the question that the mover now be called upon to reply as many as of that